Hello and welcome. Again, it's another Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's what's happening when not everything is fixed and not everything is perfect. So I'm always wondering, what would you do if not everything is perfect? I have to say, in my life, I had to come to terms that I have to be okay with not everything being perfect. And especially with the coronavirus, with difficult times, working from home, it's not always easy. So what can we do? It's Wednesday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And while I was just starting this video, the people outside were drilling and I'm like, does it really need to be now? Okay, it's not the end of the world. So what can we do? It is what it is. So I also say, be comfortable being uncomfortable, because that can happen. What is the worst that can happen? So when not everything is 100%, be okay and be comfortable just to make do. Herminia Ibarra says, try it out even if it's 80%. 80% is good enough. It's like a prototype. You can just see how it works. And what I would like to say is, if you, let's say, have a great idea, try it out. If it doesn't work out, then at least you didn't go all the way. So 80% I think is good enough. Also, they say, if you have, like me, I've almost written 500 blogs, use those blogs. So repurpose them. 80% you can repurpose and 20% add new stuff. So I'm in the process of using that magical methodology. And then I know my friend Janet Groom, she has a exciting project. Mark your calendars. June 16, the 2020 Uplift Project will have a Facebook Live whole day. So if you are in the US, you might have to get up very early, but certainly she has a lot of activities with her book. So it's called the Uplift 2020 Project. The book is out in the UK. You can get it at amazon.uk or also amazon.com. And I think she distributed yesterday or today some of the books in her neighborhood, and she's mailing them out in the UK. And why am I saying this? To promote the book, obviously. But all the proceeds of the book are going to charities in the UK. So how cool is that? I fully want to support this book, this whatever venture is starting. And let's put that date on your calendar. June 16, next week, Tuesday. She has a virtual book launch. And actually today on my podcast, we also have a talk with her, so you can find out more about what the book is all about. Some cool stuff is happening. And through a lady that I know through my podcast fellow alumni, I'm looking for the words. So she is a first responder, an emergency doctor in Australia. She says, please stop posting negative stuff on the COVID and how difficult it is. We know it is difficult at the moment. I feel for everybody. It's not easy. And also the inequality that is happening is not a good thing at the moment and will not help us. But please put uplifting stuff for the first responders, and I would say for everybody. So if you focus too much on negatives, you go the negative downward spiral. We don't want that. We see in psychology that the more positive things you have around you, with you, the more positive you can be. And it doesn't mean that we all singing and dancing all songs, but at least get through those difficult times and be balanced and centered as much as you can. Last week or the week before, I said the number to get help is 741 in the US. If you have somebody, if you know somebody who needs an extra hand, an extra help, they can certainly reach out to that helpline. So June 16, something really positive. Also, Janet in the UK is doing a 5K run. And I've heard of this before. It's from couch to a 5K. So it's a few weeks program. So that gets you going from the couch, from doing nothing, to run a 5K. So get something positive in your life. And through the New York Roadrunners, you can see many virtual runs. So if you go outside, wear the mask. It's not so easy. I've done it. I don't like it, but I don't have any other choices. So put your mask on, do your part, wash your hands before and after you're running. But it's important that we are active. So make sure that you get outside. To running as much as you can, or even walking is good. Even if you just walk around the block, that's better than nothing. So make sure you are motivated. And I have to say, actually, at the moment, I'm talking to more people than, let's say, a year ago. So I already spoke to my friend in Germany. After this Facebook Live, I will have a talk with my 2 friends in Switzerland. I call my mom every other day. So there's a lot of talking going on, and it's actually fun. I remember a few years ago, nobody called anymore. My phone was dead. I just used it for the emails or check the Facebook or any other social media platforms. But now you can talk to each other again. It's not that we have more time, but it feels like to me we are making the time. How is that? And it's actually because we need social interactions. We cannot stay at home, be isolated all the time. That's the worst thing to do. We see that it is about the nature and nurture. So experiments many moons ago have shown that babies who were never touched, they actually died. So the nurturing part is much more important than the food, except the food is also important, don't get me wrong. So I think, in my opinion, it's important to have good food, no junk food. I spoke to the CEO of Bagels and Brussels. Wait for that podcast to come out. It's Naomi who says we should have non-negotiables. So for her, a non-negotiable is a bagel. And she said she got to love, or started to love, Brussels. So if we look at our food intake, what is a non-negotiable for you? For me, certainly chocolate is non-negotiable. If I cannot have chocolate anymore, not a good thing. So, but I certainly can get rid of the junk food, and yeah, I have been very good. And especially these days, I've been cooking. I really make sure that I eat very healthy. Healthy foods provide healthy thoughts. So again, it's about creating that routine. I've spoken about that many times. Have a good routine, get up, make the bed, take a shower, get ready as if you were to go to work. And I know a few of my friends are really antsy to go back to work. Well then, listen to this statistic. So the Empire State Building in New York has, I don't know how many floors. It's 86, 100 or whatever. So they ran some numbers. So if they wanted to have everybody in the building and maybe 1 or 2 people with physical distancing in the elevator, it would take them how long? What do you think? 5 hours. So it would take them 5 hours to get everybody into the building. let alone if people want to get downstairs and have a coffee, get to a coffee break or even a smoke break. So the whole day would be spent just going up and down the elevator. So I guess we have to rethink how we can integrate and reintegrate the people into the workforce again. Do we let like 10%, 15% back to work? Who's taking the subway? At the moment, they're very clean. There's maybe 1 or 2 people. Same with the buses, very clean. People are having their distances. But what if people go back to work? Or if we stay home for the next 3, 4, 5 months? So I think it's about thinking a little long term. What does that mean for us? What does it mean for you? And also to create those happy and healthy habits. If you think it's gonna be just 1 more week, well, what if that week is over and then it's another week, another week? I heard from a student of mine, she is in Lima, Peru, that she said there they basically communicate with the community to say it's another 2 weeks. So it seems like they can digest that rather than saying it's another 2 months. So 2 more weeks, okay, let's wait. And then another 10 days, another 2 weeks. That's how probably they make people hope of that it is getting better. We see numbers that it is getting better, but we still need to make sure that everybody does their part with wearing a mask and washing the hands all the time. What else can you contribute? Many times I spoke about that social support. It's important to reach out to people, talk to them, ask them, and ask the question, how is everything going? What can I help? What's needed? What's necessary for you? And maybe also, if you can, go and visit some of the people. Wear a mask and then have the distance. And again, what I saw on a very interesting webinar, we actually shouldn't call it social distancing. We should say it physical distancing, because we don't want to distance the social contacts. So I see all those signs as social distancing, but if you analyze it, it's actually not the right word to use. It's the physical distancing that we need to do. Because if we cut the social, then everybody's alone, everybody is lonely, and that's not very good. So change maybe the vocabulary to physical distancing. Physical distancing is now required. But what I like in the stores are those round spots where you can stop, where you have to stop, so people don't bump into each other. That was always my pet peeve. You go into a store and people bump into you. So actually now it's pretty good. I like it. So I hope we can keep that, and that we are maybe more respectful and mindful with the people that we have around us. I know in some places it's not possible, but when we rush all the time, that's when we bump into others. So it's now the time to think, to be more mindful, to be respectful with others. What else? I was looking through my books and looking kind of like, oh, what is fun that those books that I bought. So one of them, and I will have the link in the notes, probably it's the wrong side. All You Need to Survive, 3 Black Skirts. And basically there's like, one is for fun, one is to go to work, and one is to go, let's say, to a theater or a concert. Maybe it will not apply for these days, but how many more items in your wardrobe do you need? So if you only have 3 black skirts and maybe 3 blouses, I think that should be enough. And I said it many times, invest in yourself. Don't invest in many more blouses or shoes. How many more pairs of shoes do you need? How many more do you need? Not many, and count them. I met a lady while working at Nestle, and I said to her, how many pairs of shoes do you have? And she said, 2. And I was like, no, this cannot be, because she always wears different shoes. Then she says, 200. So that was her answer, 200. So probably 188 too many, but she was certainly the shoe fashionista all the time. So look back at those funny moments, create something fun, add something fun into your life. We all need some fun, some laughter, because when we smile, first of all, it's contagious. And the other thing is, like, you use less muscles than when you frown. What else can I help you with? So I put in the work from home group every Monday what my goals, my intentions are. This week I also said relax. I don't know, this word is a little foreign to me at the moment, but we also need to relax a little bit. We can't always be on 24/7. So take advantage of also being a little nice to yourself. We don't have to finish everything today. We know Rome was not built in one day. That should give us a little consolation on, okay, don't rush, take your time and be nice to yourself. So that's one of my goals. And again, Monday and Wednesday, we have podcasts coming out. Monday was actually a celebration, my 50th podcast. So I started in October, actually October 15, and on Monday, June 8th, I had my 50th podcast coming out. Today, Janet Groom's podcast is coming out with the information of the book, as I said at the beginning of this live. So there's a lot of positive things coming up. And Friday is my regular blog coming out, and soon I will have 500 blogs. So I have been blogging for the past 10 years, and big milestone, 500 blogs. Who has that? Or listen to the podcast of Nevio, who has run 108 marathon. And this week I actually spoke to a guy in New Zealand, and he has run a half marathon in every state in the US in 2019. So do the math. We have 52 weekends, 50 states plus Washington DC. So wait till that podcast is coming out. A lot of interesting facts about this guy, and probably a little craziness. I don't know. It's about planning, total planning for him. So on a practical level, I asked him, how did you do that? With like, how many shoes did you need? When did you do your laundry? So me, probably I'm more on the practical side. It's certainly very interesting. And I see Jan Sommer is here with us, and Jan has every single day, he posts a poem. So don't miss out on that. Certainly very cool idea to unite the people and to send something positive, send a positive message to the community. Thank you very much, Jan. Nice to see you. All right. Any questions here that I can answer? I see a lot of people chiming in and not asking any questions. And again, I'll say it, just reach out to me. Happy to talk to you. Let's have a virtual coffee. Maybe that's what we need now. Certainly love to hear from all of you and see how you're doing. I think that's it for today. So book launch June 16. You need 3 black skirts, maybe the man only 3 black pants, who knows. This is just a book for the women. And podcast again Monday, Wednesday, blog is Friday, and the Facebook Live is Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I wish you a happy week, a productive week, but also a mindful week. Don't think everything has to be done today. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.